Hi everyone. I'm just coming in tonight to talk about failure. I am in my robe, so it is what it is. Um but I had wanted to talk about other things, but this is kind of um where things are right now with me. So I had to I had to make the decision to leave school, to withdraw from school. Um that decision was based upon me forgetting that school was actually a trigger for me. Why? I have no idea. But in undergrad, I dealt with extreme anxiety and depression to the point to where I had to take a fifth year to finish my degree. And when my master's degree, I had to take additional semester to finish my degree. And in the process of finishing my master's degree, and now it has been 13 years. So I forgot. I literally forgot. And oh, here's my earrings for the day. I literally forgot um, all the emotional strain that school put on me. And during that time, everything seemed feasible because, I was going to school full time. But what I did not realize until this go around was that um I was working a full time job this time and managing several platforms and doing all this other stuff, and everything began to like close in on me to where I started becoming very symptomatic. Um, it was something that my partner had became aware of first because he interacts with me a lot. And you know, I had to make a decision that I did not want to make. Um and cuz I'm also in the middle of working on my licensure, and it was just it was honestly it was too much. And so I had to put that on hold because my licensure has a timeline to actually complete. And while I'm going through this is just a neutral palette that I got from CVS, I believe. Um, and so I only use one color on my eyes. One, I'm not a makeup guru, and two, I only like one color on my eyes. That's just how I always been. Um, I had always wanted to go back to school. That was a very um, top of the list goal, and I always wondered if I would be healthy enough to do so. And so to be in school and to start to get triggered was very alarming for me and became very devastating for me. And so I start to have feelings of being a failure at things. And I don't think anyone, well, I can't say that people don't understand, but people are just looking at it as if, oh, it's something that you're not, that you can pick up later. But it does not rid yourself of, it does not rid me of that feeling of feeling like a failure. And so since I know if I feel that way, other people feel that way. So this is how we process it. So a part of the thing that I do in attempting to process this world of emotion of feeling like a failure is I say it out loud. I don't care who hears me. I don't care if the first person ignores me or the second person doesn't really hear me. I vocalize that I feel like a failure. I just put it out there. I feel like a failure. I feel embarrassed. I feel um like I could have held things together a different way. Um I don't doubt myself. Um but I do feel like I wish I would have remembered that, I needed certain things in place before I started school. And I didn't. And so I'm really like upset with that, with myself about that. But, what can I do about it at this point but try to save myself the best way that I can, right? And a part of saving myself is just saying I have to regroup. I have to regroup, restructure everything, and regroup. Um, it hurts. It does not feel good. But the first thing that I do when I am processing failure is I say, verbalize, I feel like a failure. I don't try to hide how I feel. Do not try to hide how you feel, people. It is going to build up, and you're not going to be able, it's going to come out in a different way, and it may come out in a negative way towards someone that you care about. And you have to remember, when we don't deal with those initial emotions, then it can come out and develop and turn into anger, which is a secondary emotion. And because it comes out in anger, you may find yourself saying something to someone that you may later regret, and you can't take that back. So I'm always acknowledge that I feel like a failure. Um, from there, I acknowledge how else, the other feelings that I am experiencing. Um, I do feel depressed, and it's ironic because you let go of certain things, or you choose to set things aside so you wouldn't feel anxiety and so you wouldn't feel the depression, but then you end up feeling depressed anyway. So it's not a depressive episode. These are just sad feelings. Um, and I am trying to plan out things to keep myself on the up and up, while at the same time being true to how I feel. Like, I really do acknowledge my feelings right now. And sometimes I feel like when I acknowledge my feelings to people, that they are dismissive of them. So it does make me want to not share with anyone how I'm feeling. But a part of me has to remember that I'm going to come across the right person who's really, really, really going to listen to me. Um, and it's okay if it takes a while for you to get to that person. Um, I do have like outlets that help me express how I'm feeling. One way that I use to help me express is music, and I don't listen, and this is just me. I don't listen to music that necessarily is inspirational to make me feel better. I don't do that. That does not help me at all. It doesn't help me. I listen to music that echoes the pain and the hurt that I feel. I will be listening to Nirvana, Stain, Nickelback, Linkin Park. Those, those, that's what I listen to because I need to feel my emotions and I want to feel that echoed. And so those songs really, really speak to me when I'm in that moment. And I need to feel a connection that someone at some point experienced this, and someone at some point was able to vocalize and verbalize this in a way. And I look for those connections in that music. So I don't listen to stuff that is inspirational because I'm not trying to be inspired. I'm trying to get my emotions out. And so it's like very important to me that that I listen to music that reflects my emotional state. Cuz I'm not trying to rush how I feel, and I'm not trying to pretend like I listen to a song and I feel better. Um, I'm very real, and this is another thing. Be very real about your timeline in terms of your feelings. I do not think this is something that I will feel great about in a week or two or 3 weeks from now. And I'm okay with that. Um, because for me, it is about, you know, processing. And I think because people don't take their time processing things, mm, it comes back. It comes back, and it wasn't truly resolved because they rushed the process. There's this whole nature of thinking that everything that you pour into yourself has to be positive this, positive that. Your thinking has to always be positive. When something negatives happen, just think of the positive. And that's just not reality. Um, and a lot of that sometimes is avoidance, because allowing yourself to feel your emotions like I am doing right now is not comfortable. It ain't comfortable. And you also have to have a game plan for if I am experiencing sadness, how do I allow myself to experience the emotions that I'm having while at the same time keeping a balance and knowing when I need to begin to the process of lifting my spirits, and when I need to get help, and when I need to move myself out of this space, because it is a delicate balance. That's why it is so important that people get to know themselves, and you know how you react to things. I tell my partner, I was talking to my best friend today, and I told him, I was like, today is um, I was depressed yesterday. I wasn't feeling good yesterday. I wasn't well. If I'm frustrated, I said I'm agitated and I'm frustrated today. You have to. It's important if you verbalize those things how you're feeling in that moment. It gives the person that you're communicating with an understanding of what you may be dealing with right then and there, and also it helps them not take certain things personally if you just have to have a chip on your shoulder that day. um it's and one thing that I will also say, y'all, when you reach out, and this is another thing, if you reach out to someone for support and their support isn't beneficial for you, don't just sit there. Tell the person what you need from them. And I'll use my fiance as a perfect example. Sometimes when I'm communicating with him, he will offer feedback, and in that moment, I don't need nor do I want feedback. What I really want is to be able to vent and tell someone what's going on inside of me and just have someone listen to me. I just want to be heard. You have to be comfortable in telling people, hey, I appreciate that, but I really just need to vent without any feedback. I really just need to get all of this out. And when I started doing that, then people were able to support me the way that I felt like I needed support. Now, that doesn't mean that a person who cares about you isn't going to say, hey, have you thought about talking to someone professional about this? But this is the thing y'all have to realize for us professionals, for us mental health professionals, we tell people, I know y'all was like, oh, you should talk to your therapist. We tell people, make sure you talk to your support system. We tell people, make sure you talk to your support system. Why? Because those individuals are with y'all more than they're with us. Y'all see them more often. Y'all talk to them more often. Y'all interact with them more often. So it's important. And it's nothing wrong. Let me tell you, if someone is seeking support from you, it's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. It's nothing wrong. If it's really heavy and you can't handle that day, it's nothing wrong with talking to that person about, hey, perfect example, me and my best friend, the code word for us is coffee. Like I'll ask him, I was like, hey, have you had your coffee this morning? That's his cue that what I'm about to talk about is really heavy. And so he will tell me, no, I haven't had my coffee yet. Or, yeah, you're good, to let me know if I can move forward with that heavy conversation, or if it's something that I need to pull back from and wait till, he's ready to take that on. And try to have a diverse avenue, or not a diverse avenue, but yes, diverse avenues of support. Like, I don't have one specific person that I draw support on. I actually have 4 people. And before COVID, I had 5. One of those people, whenever I had certain thoughts, I would leave my home and go to their home and stay with them for that day until it was safe for me to come home. And so you have to diversify your support so you don't have one main person taking on everything, because that can be draining. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but that can be draining. I'm a person who tries to avoid draining my support system, but at the same time, I've also been a person who's felt drained for not being able to provide all the support that someone needed all the time. So don't put that on yourself where you feel like you have to provide all the support that someone needs all the time. That's unfair to you, and it's unfair to the person, and it can cause you to build resentment towards them, and you don't want that to happen. And it doesn't benefit either one of you. So, going back to failure, failure is a hard thing to deal with. It is, people don't like to use the F word, but it exists. We don't win all the time. We don't win all the time. It can hit you here. It can hit you here. It can hit you in your wallet. It can hit you in a lot of places. I think that a lot of times when we miss that step and we fail, and I'm going to say the word fail, when we fail, it doesn't just affect us in that moment, it affects us in the future. And the reason why I would say that really need to take the time to process what you're experiencing, and allow yourself to experience those emotions so it doesn't damage or impact your confidence in trying again, or having faith in your ability to do things, or having faith in your ability to trust yourself. Because it's not that you're not going to be uneasy about it, but it will be an opportunity. It will be an opportunity for you to again show yourself first what you can do. Um, I think for me, in my particular situation, I felt like I was ready, and having to step back really it um echoed those words from the psychiatrist from so many years ago, who had told me that how many times do you literally he said, how many times do you have to fail before you realize you can't do this anymore? And who told me that I wouldn't be able to do this work again, and who told me basically that I wouldn't be able to do this. And so when I had to pull back, it felt like I was hearing those words again. And that is a level of pain that I have not experienced in a while. And it's something that hits me, a little bit, it hits me to my core a lot. And, it's like to know someone told you that you will fail, and then, or you don't have, or you won't have the ability to do something, and then you feel like you get to that point to prove them wrong, and to prove yourself wrong because you doubted it. And when you have to step away, a part of your mind, a part of my mind automatically is like, you can't, they were right. And it doesn't matter how much I try to talk myself out of that. My thoughts are the automatic thoughts that I'm having right now is that you are a failure and you don't have the ability to do this. And it is it's a pain that I can't describe. It's a pain that I can't describe. Um but I keep telling myself to go back to square one and go back to your cores. Like there's core things about myself. It's like, so what are the core things about yourself, Aquanda? It's like, I'm a good writer. I can express myself through writing. I'm a great speaker. I can express myself through speaking. And I'm hella good at developing a plan. And it was that last part that I'm hella good at developing a plan that keeps my mind from going over the edge. That, okay, you develop plans to create amazing things. This right here, this moment right here is no different. You can create a plan that will get you back on track. And that has become my saving grace in all of this. So, what I would say to anyone who's dealing with failure in a particular situation, step a little bit away from that situation and go to, what are my absolutes? What are my truths about myself. That regardless of what happens, that regardless of what anyone has to say about me, regardless of what I see or I hear, what is it about myself that is absolutely true that no one can take away from me? No one can take away from me. And you hold on to those truths and you figure out a way to apply those truths to overcome and to deal with the process of failure. And for me, out of my three truths, that third one, I know how to develop a damn good plan, is the truth that's going to carry me through this. Because even though I feel the way that I feel right now, and I may not have the emotional energy right now to put A, B, C, and D together, I know that I'm going to do a damn good job at putting together a plan that's going to get me back on track. I know that. And so I have confidence in that part of myself. And so you have to grab a hold of whatever it is that you have confidence in, to put yourself back on track. And it is not always the easiest connection to make. Those connections take time. Sometimes those connections takes a little bit more work. It takes a little bit more knowledge to get it together. But that's the one place you have to go back to your cores. Always go back to your cores of who you are and what you know you have the ability to do. Review your successes in life. Know that you came, a lot further than you thought you did, than you could, and getting ready to, move yourself forward when it's time for you to do so. Don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself. That is the last one. You can't rush it. I don't want to be in this space. I don't want to feel the way that I'm feeling right now. I really don't want to feel the way that I'm feeling right now. But this is a part of me, and I would have rather caught this now than be in a position a year from now to where I feel like my experience is so unbearable that I'm having thoughts that I can't return back from. And so you sometimes you have to take the loss in life. And this is just a temporary moment that feels excruciating. And I'm not trying to force myself to find a lesson, but it'll come. The universe has never failed me. My ancestors have never failed me. My higher power has never failed me. And when it's time for them to speak and show me the direction, it will be shown to me. But right now, I just have to feel the emotions that I feel. Because I'd rather feel this right here than what I was feeling before. So yeah, so that's all that I have. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. Ain't that what the pastor used to say? I ain't gonna be before y'all long. But that is all I have to say. I gotta create some thumbnails for these videos. But yeah, y'all. So if you're dealing with failure or trying to process it, that's some tough shit. But just allow yourself to be and find your truths. Find your truths that nobody can take away from you, and go back and be proud of the stuff that you have done before this point. Be proud that you made it to this moment. And when it's time, you'll know how to put together the game plan. All right. Until next time, y'all. Maybe I'll come on tomorrow. live streaming is very therapeutic for me. So I'll probably be on tomorrow. So I'll check y'all later. Bye.